else?
No, it's...
No, is like the laundry, the dryer door or something?
Yeah, it sounded
Oh.
like just closing of random doors
Like
and
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
I don't know what you're doing, but yeah.
Spend your XP.
That's exactly what I was doing, actually.
I'm also making laundry. But in another room.
Alright, I just...
Yeah, we can. No, sorry, no, we can't, Sean. We can't.
What? Yeah.
Sean has some microphone problems, I think.
My speakers. I'm constant. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm constantly switching my audio inputs, microphones, and stuff.
Really? Why?
Well, I have the Oculus Rift for my flight sims, and so when I fly with a squadron, I'm always switching between microphones and headsets and speakers and.
Right. Haven't played a flight sim for years, huh?
Yeah, I'm in a group. It's pretty fun. I actually had the best flight ever last night. So.
Like Microsoft Flight Simulator?
It's IL-2. It's a World War II flight sim.
Yeah, I know. It's excellent.
Yeah, so I got 5 kills in one flight and survived, which is better than most of my monthly tallies.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty hard. That's very good.
Yeah.
And you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I know that you've already spent your XP. Brian?
Yep.
Jason, please do the same. And could someone write Sean that we can't hear him, actually? Because I have, like, my fingers in chicken.
XP.
Well, let's see.
I think I should,
Yeah, I'm still landlocked. Well, not landlocked, but yeah, can't spend anything till my career change.
I'll take a dodge blow.
Very good.
Oh yeah, that's one of the first things I take.
Well,
Yeah,
I've always had high agility, so.
Yeah, I'm so excited because I just switched to a career that will let me buy a dodge blow, so I will absolutely be buying that and 80 more XP.
The way you said that, I was thinking like Dodge, the car company, buy a Dodge blow.
Who did... Oh. Alright, he reconnects. Dodge blow is always useful. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I thought it was a default skill on here, so I guess I have to edit.
So, after Scout, what will you plan to go into, Andy?
I don't know, being that I literally just switched to Scout a few minutes ago. I'll think about that as the story progresses.
That's an advanced career, right, Scout?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
pretty good. Actually, it's very good, even.
Yeah, I hadn't intended to go that route until, I don't know, a couple of weeks back, or a couple of sessions back, anyway.
That's a pretty decent ranged character, isn't it?
Yeah. But the career exits are Explorer, Outlaw Chief, Sergeant, Vampire Hunter, and Ghost Strider.
Explorer is very nice. Can you
Yeah.
hear Sean? No, he can't. Explore
Could that be a
because
could that be a Skype thing?
I don't know. I think it's more of a port thing, honestly.
Yeah, like I don't know if Skype has a settings where you choose what the inputs and outputs are, kind of like the
I think it has, and if you have like speakers connected.
All right.
Oh.
Hey!
Hey.
hear
For
Sean.
some reason, Skype seems to think that even when the call comes through, it decides that it doesn't want to just go to any basic settings, and it completely changes my microphone and speaker settings.
Oh man.
Ah.
Don't know why.
Skype fucking sucks. Honestly.
Well, ever since they changed it, it makes absolutely no sense. You know?
I'm really thinking.
I
I'm
use-
thinking about an alternative. You know.
I use TeamSpeak and I use Discord, and both of them are pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you guys tried? Because I noticed on my copy of Roll20 that they've updated the voice and video chat parts of it, and previously when I did the Call of Cthulhu stuff, I just used their chat. And at first it was okay, and then it started having problems. But I was just wondering if you guys had too many problems with it or not.
We had. Actually.
We did the
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did the audio the first couple sessions, I think, before you guys.
Yeah.
And it worked. When it worked fine. But when it didn't work, it didn't work at all. So we just haven't used it since.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So maybe they changed it. Trying.
It's pretty shitty, honestly, especially with Chrome, because Chrome has a tendency to not support like many external plugins. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a Google thing, really. They're monopolists.
Well, it's a security issue.
Yeah. That too, but I don't really understand why. In many ways, Chrome is fantastic, but in many ways, it's just plain dumb, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean, spend your experience.
Yes. Yeah, I need to think about that for a minute. Of course, I've had 2 weeks to think about it, but
Well, you can think about it while Brian can explain to me what happened since he didn't get the notes up.
Exactly, Brian. Please go on.
Okay, so Lucas went to Dunkerroot to inform the general what was going on, that we're going to lift the gates, and we have flares that we're going to shoot off at high noon the next day. And we climbed a cliff to get to the wall, the crater wall. I'm going to run along that to the gate.
The High Watch.
Yeah, at the High Watch. So that's where we left off. And Lucas was presumably with the army in Dunkerroot.
Okay.
And Lucas made a lot of promises we expect him to keep, also.
like a platoon of steam tanks.
No, it was more like, I'm going to buy you guys beer in every single tavern, I'm going to pay for you, I'm going to rub your feet. Like,
Yeah, steam tanks are more likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you all my stuff because I like you.
Well, after that we gave you that signal, Vincent and everybody else went unconscious, so you're crashing through the ceiling with a steam tank actually turned out to do pretty well.
True that. Okay, Sean, so what are you buying?
I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what skills and/or talents I could buy. Would I be able to buy like specialist weapon group crossbow at this point, or is that not?
No, you can buy that because you haven't received training in it.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that will be available to you after this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Has he used a crossbow for a while?
It's
I
not
did.
About crossbow. It's about special crossbows, like semi-auto.
Right. That's exactly because I need that to get out of this out of Vampire Hunter. I need to know how to use and own a repeater crossbow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe what I'll do then is I'm trying to figure out how much. Oh, did I buy that last time? What did I buy? Oh, okay. I'll probably use it on skill buffs or stat buffs.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of.
If
I'm
you
trying to double.
If you can always try to pass the like up your toughness or strength bonus, you know,
Right.
to another digit. So, for example, if you have 39 like strength, then after you get +5, you have 4 strength total, like, you know, because 44.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, I see here. So you need to be. So right now I'm at 32. Yeah, and it looks like actually I have quite a bit I could put into toughness. I didn't realize I could. I can put 20% total. I used 5.
That's excellent.
So that might be worthwhile. So let's see. So if I bump it up to another 5, that would be 37.
Yeah, and then another 5, 42.
Okay. All right, so I'll do that. So 42.
And then we have like 4 toughness bonus.
Mhm.
And if you can get another 10, then you would have 5. That's a good deal.
Yeah, I don't have that much to put into it yet.
Okay, so it seems like Leopold, you know,
Mhm.
took up some protein shakes. You know, he began to lift.
All that,
Get swole.
all that
Did you just
nutrition.
go up 10 points of strength in one session?
No, 10 points of toughness.
Leopold the Swole.
Or maybe he just got smart enough to figure out to put some padding under his armor and clothes.
Yeah, you know, a fake 6-pack.
You got some Sharpie marker.
Almost
and
leasing an
drew a
armor
six-pack.
to you, huh?
True that. Okay, so that's it. Let's begin. Brian, Jason, Sean, your characters are on the wall, are on the crater wall. You can see Talgat on the other side, and you can see the hundreds of campfires of the encamped Empire army. Fortunately, the Emperor has sent help, but the army can't get inside, not yet. And won't be able to get inside unless you will open that den gate in the High Watch. You spend the night atop the wall. It was freezingly cold, almost unbearably so. In fact, you guess that you probably wouldn't be able to get even a single minute's sleep. It was so chilling. But then, at about midnight, perhaps, a strange thing happened. A mist descended on the entire upper wall of Talbastan. And in that mist, you saw shapes of great animals, wolves, mighty, majestic creatures. They've emerged from the mists, and even though at the first glance they seemed like, well, you know, wolves, dangerous predators, they've looked at you and you saw in their eyes kindness. Their fur is silver, like literally it glints like a moonlight. Their eyes are intelligent and smart. Without uttering a single growl, they've approached you and they've laid right next to you. You can...
It's a vision from Tal.
Yes, but this vision actually kept you warm throughout the night. None of you said a thing about it. Neither you, nor Silke, nor nor your other comrades. You've spent the night cuddled with wolves, warm and eerily calm. Meanwhile, Lucas, 2 hours before sunrise, you were woken up by General's aide. You like got yourself together, was given something to eat, and then went to a mastering square in Dunkerud, where Van Zandt's Outriders and that other sergeant guy, whose name I've forgotten, sorry. And
yeah, I won't remember it either, so you just say that other sergeant guy.
Yeah, and the sergeant of scouts.
Oh, Van Zant and something or other.
I think it's Uther actually. Yeah, Uther. Are waiting for you with their men. The plan is simple. They've told you that in a few hours' time, the remnants of Talabheim's army will commence their attack on the city. It will be apparently it's going to be a synchronized attack with warriors from Myrmidian Temple and dwarves from the Stone House, as well as the Empire army embarked on the other side of the wall. Flares will give the signal to attack, but first you must make sure that that the Empire army, Empire army from Talabheim, approaching the city from the east, won't meet a stiff resistance from the Rat. Marksmen generally, hunting parties, raiding parties, and so on. So you are right now going out with scouts and outriders, and to soften up the defenses a bit. And also you've been informed that last night, late evening, Van Zandt and his men, together with the scouts, have managed to attack one of the slaving parties from Talabheim. And although they've sustained losses, as well as many slaves have been killed, they've liberated many more, killed every single ratman involved, and among those slaves was Gennaro, who's alive, although he's very emaciated and weak. Together with many other freed slaves, he's been taken care of now by the army's physicians. So, you are, or maybe not, I don't know, but you are glad to hear that.
Yep.
You've left Dunkerud before dawn, and in hour and a half, maybe two, reach the outskirts of Talabheim. You are walking with Uther's men. You're all dressed in long cloaks, protecting you from both the chilling wind and, hopefully, the gaze of ratmen. Small branches and patches of differently colored material have been sewn into the cloaks. Also, I don't know, Andy, if your character has a longbow, but if he hasn't, he does now. You've been given a longbow with 10 arrows.
Okay. Yeah, I had a bow, but not a longbow.
Yeah. You are all armed with the longbows. Van Zandt and his outriders are about 100 meters behind you, sorry. Riding very quietly. Well, actually, walking their horses very quietly. Uther looks at you, looks at Talabheim, which is eerily quiet and feels almost dead. All right, we must make sure that the approaching forces from the west, from the east, won't be ambushed by the Ratmen. We will move to the Grand Manor as quietly as possible and eliminate any Skaven along the way. Use your bow only, and don't make any noise.
Does the longbow require a specialist weapon group? I'm trying to find it real quick.
Actually, I think it might.
Yeah, I think it does.
So if you don't have it, then you have only a bow.
Okay. Yeah, because okay, I'm listening. I'm gonna keep looking though.
Okay.
While
So if you don't have the skill, then they just given you more arrows, because you already had a bow.
right.
Yeah. So you have like.
Yeah, it's in the longbow group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually a specialized.
Okay. So yeah, just a regular bow.
So you can add like another 10 arrows to your quiver.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. You are very quietly moving through the manor district. The streets here are rather wide, and the unique, let's say, let's just say it, unique way that Talabheim's nobility, decided to build their homes, makes moving through this district a challenging feat. Fortunately, there's the fog, and this fog is actually you don't know why, but you have a feeling that it conceals you very, very well, while also allowing you to spot any suspicious movement. Suddenly you see 3-story high nobleman's manor, and you see that in the upmost window there's a movement, and the long barrel of a gun suddenly slides from between the window shutters. What are you going to do?
Was there any pre-agreed kind of signs?
Yeah, something like
noises. Yeah, gonna do that while simultaneously ducking.
All right.
Or diving for cover.
All right. You've managed to duck behind the artistically shaped hedge. Although it has seen better times, since for the last couple of weeks no one, was able to tend to it. Atter and his other men also ducked behind cover. He looked at you and made a few signs with his hands, which basically translate to take it down.
Okay. So do I obviously I have no view because I'm behind something.
No, but you remember the window, and you remember that it was like the shutters were opened.
Okay, I mean, am I within range of a reasonable shot? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to prep the weapon, pull the bowstring back.
And fire.
Yeah, basically, yeah, kind of aim it so that it's going to be roughly where it is, so I have to just move, let go, and pull back in. So yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay. You quickly emerge from the cover, put up the bow, aim, fire. Roll for ballistic skill.
Success.
Nice. Oh, yeah. The arrow.
Assuming there's.
Yeah, no penalties. The arrow flew true and straight. It disappeared in the darkness of the window. A split second later, a shape dressed in black rags fell through it. The arrow sticking from its head. A long-barreled and also scoped rifle falling to the ground. Atter was like, "Good shot, Private. Let's move." And you've moved forward. 5 more times you did exactly the same thing. Of course, together with other scouts. Atter himself killed 2 ratmen with his dagger, quietly. And after what seemed like eternity, but in reality was only, less than half an hour since you've entered the Manor District, you eventually reached the Grand Manor. You are all hunkered behind a statue of, of the Countess. The Countess who has been, well, captured by the Skaven Grey Seer. You don't know if she's still alive. You don't know if she's well. So basically, you're waiting here. Atro looks at you and says, "Now we wait for the signal. Should be a few more hours. I suggest that you find a good spot to snipe. Somewhere around this square. Make sure that your back's okay. After we're given a signal, we rendezvous at the statue and move inside the manor. Understood?"
Yes, sir.
Right. Go, all of you. Find a safe spot. Wait for the flare. All right. So you were given your orders. You need to find a good spot.
Okay.
So how are you planning to do this? Are you planning to just go to a random house? Or are you planning to actually, scout before?
Yeah, I was going to actually scout before.
All right.
Look for a spot that looks that looks like it would be easy to guard as well as easy to escape.
Very well. So roll for perception with, of course, bonuses because you, after a few weeks of being member of the resistance, you know how to find a good spot to hide.
Ooh.
Well.
Apparently not.
The bonus is good, but no, not that good. Actually, this place would probably be okay, but for your liking, there are few too many, blind corners to worry about. So it's up to you. You can either find another place or remain here.
I'm going to take it for now, but while watching, if I see a better spot, I'll try to move.
All right.
Because I also don't want to be out in the open.
Cool. You guys, you've woken up right before dawn as well. There's no sign of the wolves. It's still incredibly cold, but the mist is also still in place. And just like with Lucas, the mist seems to be. What's that sound?
Easy.
I was putting slippers on, if that's what you heard.
Oh, okay.
It sounded pretty extreme.
Yeah. The mist seems to be. Well, you don't really know why, but you feel that it seems to be concealing you very, very well. While also giving you a rather good view of the High Watch, which emerges from it. Probably a few hundred meters from your location. You need to get there. How are you planning to do this? The others are clearly looking at you for directions.
Did we get health back from sleeping?
Yeah, let's say that you were given back each 3 points of health.
You're like really quiet for some reason. What'd you say?
2 points, did you say?
3.
3.
3?
Okay.
You feel warm
Alright.
and fuzzy.
Oh, I'm at about half now.
It sounds like your mic got shut off.
Mine?
Yeah, we could barely hear you.
Yeah, it sounds like you're maybe 5 feet away from.
Now?
Yeah, it
where
sounds
you
like
were
you're across the
before.
room.
Yep, now you're good.
Yeah, sorry, I was munching, but I'm not going to anymore.
Um,
The
Oh,
damn
yeah.
Can I
chicken
take a
guy
healing
came
shot
too
too?
late.
I got a new microphone, so if I sound obnoxiously loud or too quiet, let me know.
No,
if you hear me eating.
You're sounding very, very good to me. At this.
Whoa,
Alright,
you're sounding very good to him.
That's right.
Damn.
I have that effect on many people.
Even men. Righto. So, what's the plan?
Can I take a healing draught?
Of course.
That's a good plan. Yeah, that's
How much health is that?
It's 4 HP restored.
Well, I guess it's
Yeah?
it's harder to plan without really, I guess, seeing a description of where we're going. But I imagine we're going to try to approach as quietly as possible.
If you look at the map of the city, you're on the wall of Talabheim.
Yeah,
Like in the-
we're
in-
to the north,
Yeah,
right?
in the topmost like part of it.
Hmm.
And you need to go to number 1 on the map, which is
Yeah.
the High Watch.
Yes. So I imagine the direction is there's only really one pathway.
Yeah.
I would imagine, and I don't know if this is a known path. So hopefully they don't have anybody on post overwatching it. But if they do, I think we ought to be as sneaky as possible. And if there is somebody on watch, if we have any quieter range weapons, we might try. If we could get around them, we should probably do that. But if we can't, that's would pull up the range weapons that are quiet.
You won't really be able to go around them. The way on top of the Talabheim wall is incredibly narrow in itself, and you see that you will actually have to move very carefully, because one slip and you're going to fall, and if you fall, it's dead. Death awaits you, because the slopes are rather what's the word, steep.
Slippery.
Steep. Yeah, steep.
Slippery.
And slippery as well. Yeah. Silke looks at you. Okay, alright, but once we get to the High Watch, how are we planning to get inside?
Well, if there's somebody on post up ahead, they might have a door or something, or it's one of those things where we kind of have to get there to see what options we have. But I think maybe Sally and Silka should take the lead, since Silka has the ranged weapon, and Sally, you probably have the natural sneakiness to, the abilities to kind of scout. Do we have a crossbow or something?
Silka has bow.
I have a sling. I can get 2 shots off a round.
Yeah,
Right, I gave up, or I lost, I think, all my silent ones. I have a blunderbuss and a pistol, and then...
yeah. So how about Sally and Silka
I'll
kind of
keep my
take
sling
point?
out, ready to go.
And then we'll give you
sorry, go
some
ahead.
space.
Silka looks at you, Sally, and says,
I
Halfling,
agree.
we move first. You see anything in the mist, consider it hostile. Shoot to kill, only use silence weapons.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Anything that's not our group is
Yes.
to be murdered.
Yeah, everything in front of you
Yes.
pretty much is a hostile, and we'll be behind you, but we're going to give you some space so we're not drawing too much attention.
Keep the firearms for the High Watch itself.
Yeah, that's after we get compromised. We'll use the firearms.
Yeah, Leopold will draw his sword and hammer out.
Very well. The other resistance members look at you grim-faced and determined. They're also clutching their weapons, although you can see that they are woefully, outmatched by this current situation. They will be
Luckily, it looks as though Ronaldo has convinced Tal to bet on us this time.
I agree. It was a sign. The gods must be with us, says Silke. Let's make them proud. For Myrmidia and Tal.
Sigmar.
And Sigmar. Sigmar! And Carl
Carl
Franz.
Franz.
Carl Franz.
Carl Franz.
Carl Franz.
Ronaldo.
Hey,
and Carl.
after everybody yells Carl Franz.
Yeah, the Skaven that have got around you. Yeah, Carl Franz, Carl Franz.
We hear in the distance, Carl Franz.
It just occurred to me that maybe we should have brought Walter Godford to pretend he was a Skaven and talk, to say, open up.
We have that ability.
Well,
You do.
Did the amulets? I thought the amulets only allowed us to
No.
understand.
You can also speak.
language. Oh, we can. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Because
Ah,
remember, in Arabic, you were able to speak with the...
Mm,
So if you're behind a rock and they shout out to you, you could answer back like a Skaven.
okay.
I mean,
cool.
you can speak their language, but if you're going to sound like a Skaven, that's a completely different thing.
Mm,
You know?
okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but we've heard them speak enough that we can at least attempt to.
Yes, you can attempt to
Kill,
emulate.
kill!
You mean we're not going to sound like Arnold in every role he's ever played?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Kill!
Nothing to see over here.
All right, you're making your way.
It's not a tumor.
I am the
Not a tuma tuma.
You're making your way over the Talbaston wall. The fog is all around you, so you don't really see Talgat, nor do you see the soldiers there, waiting for the gate to be opened, so they might enter the city of Tal, the Eye of the Forest, and help liberate it from the Chaos Ratmen. But you know that if you fail here, the soldiers down there will die, and perhaps all of the Empire may fall.
But no pressure.
No pressure, absolutely no, absolutely not. So you're making your way there. Lucas,
Yes.
you are sitting in your spot,
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the signal to attack, to jump into action. When suddenly you look through the window, it's on the second floor of a small nobleman's manor, which still is a huge house in itself. You see that outside, like 20, maybe 30 meters from you, a patrol of ratmen is approaching. 8 rats strong, 7 of them being the, well, you could say average Skaven, armed with spears and crude shields, as well as primitive, but it does the job. I'm talking, of course, about the armor. They're being led by black furred ratmen, armed with sharp glaive and armored in steel. You see that they are walking through the streets of Manor District, and once again, you actually think about how much the Skaven don't like the open space. The Ratmen are clearly out of their element here. They are looking around nervously. They're rats, so they would probably would like to be underground, or at least in more tight confines. But there's one problem. You see that they are walking right towards the hiding place of one of your scouts. A young man named Adol. He's no more than 16 years old, probably. Adol decided to actually remain outside and hide behind a bush. Which in hindsight was probably a very stupid idea. But there you go. What are you going to do?
Are there any rocks or anything anything I can throw?
Well, you
out
are
my window in the opposite direction.
Right next to you is a small, elegant table carved from luxurious wood, and on that table sits a vase.
Yeah, can I chuck it out in the opposite direction real quickly, just so it'll crash and make a loud noise to send them running in that direction?
You can, but it will mean that there's a chance that you'll be spotted, because you will need to open the window more and actually lean out a bit to throw it. It's a risk.
Okay. So a risk I'm willing to take.
Very well. You grab the vase, and it's very beautiful. No, of course, handmade, very fancy. Must be worth
Probably worth. Yeah,
Yeah.
worth multiple times what I'm worth.
Actually, probably what you are all worth. You open the window shutters, lean out, feel the cold air of Talabheim's morning on your face, and you're throwing the vase with as much force as possible right in the opposite direction. So what I want you to do is just to run for a roll for agility, if so that you'll be able, to throw it without overexposing yourself. Excellent. Like a pro, you threw the vase. It flew a couple of meters in the opposite direction to the patrol. It crashed, and until now, you didn't even realize how quiet it was in the city, because this crash was like a gunshot, like wham! The Skaven, of course, quickly went on their guard. They began to look around frantically. The Blackford leader, in his chittering voice, started giving his underlings orders. You have the amulet, Andy?
No, I don't. Wait, actually.
I thought Vincent was the only one who did not have it.
Yeah.
Because he gave his
Yeah.
Mystic Karsta.
Yes,
If I recall correctly, they magically reappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right. So you can hear that the Blackford Dratman, cries like, "Quick! Find the source of the sound, quick, hurry, or I'll cut you!" And to actually make good on his promise, he swatted one of his under rats with a flat of his glaive. The thing squealed with pain, and quickly ran towards the source of the sound. You see, with some relief, that Ado used this distraction to his advantage and actually changed position, making his way further into the garden in which he was hiding, and entering, a small groove. Groove? Yeah, actually.
Grove?
Grove, yeah. Groove, not groovy.
He started a groove.
Yeah. Grove. And hid himself there. You know that now the Ratman won't be able to find him. So, good job. Alright, Sally, you're walking with Silke. She has her bow in her hand, and of course, the arrow is. She plays an arrow on her bowstring. You have your sling in your hand.
Yeah.
You're making your way very carefully and very quietly towards the High Watch. Very quietly. Roll for perception. You suddenly hear a quiet scuttling noise right in front of you, like maybe 5-8 meters from your current position.
I want to quietly kind of hiss so that Silke could hear me and just kind of stop and get really low.
Alright. You're hissing extremely quietly. You can hear...
Well, just kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, it's like something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can hear Silke coming to a halt right behind you. You are also keeping, as low as possible. But what now?
I've got the sling ready to go when something is visible.
Well, we don't see anything, but you've heard it.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay. After few seconds, you can hear Silke's impatient hiss. You know what it means. It means either do something about it, or do something about
Okay.
it because we don't have time.
I'm gonna push forward quietly.
All
With
right.
the sling ready to go.
All right. You're pushing forward quietly. You, of course, are on a constant lookout for the source of the sound, and you see it. Suddenly, you see it. Leaning against the outer edge of the wall is a Skaven. Apparently, it's trying to pierce the fog with its beady red eyes to spy on the Empire soldiers down in Talgat. It doesn't see you. What's your plan?
I'm gonna try and hit it with the sling,
All right.
but I'm gonna move in a little bit closer to make it more of a sure thing.
You could try hit it with a sling, but is that the best tactical option?
Well, I was thinking, could I push it off, or do I put myself in danger?
Yeah, you could probably do that. I mean, it's, you know,
Okay.
if you're going to miss with your sling, you're praying that Silke also has it in her sights, but you're not sure.
We don't know what's happening, do
No,
we?
no, you are
Or-
like
okay.
10 meters behind them.
Can I
Alright,
point to it and see if Silka also sees it?
Well, how will you know that she sees it? She obviously is not going to say anything, even hiss, because you're too close.
No, but I could see her. You know, like she could nod or she could.
No,
you know.
she's behind you.
Okay.
She's behind you. You are walking first because you're smaller than her. So if anything would happen, she would be able to fire over your head. You know.
So I'm gonna point ahead so she knows that I see it at least, and I'm gonna
Alright.
move in a little closer.
All right. Suddenly, Skaven's phone went off.
And then Sally's phone went off and he's dead.
This game is like, what?
Yeah. All right. You've pointed towards the Skaven, and then now you're making your way towards it, with an intention to push the horrible thing over the edge. So, roll for agility. Let's make this interesting.
I'm gonna use the luck.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Ooh.
Nice.
You've almost stumbled, but more because of an instinct than actually, sight. You've managed to put your leg over a jagged piece of rock, and then you've quickly run the last 3 steps, grab this thing by its tail with one hand, with the other you've grabbed it by the ragged shirt that it has on itself. You've yanked it, forward. It went like "Whack!" and fell, and it was like.
Quick, Sully, what's your one-liner?
Uh,
I just looked like really grim, staring at it.
well, actually, I don't have a single one-liner for that. It's horrible.
I don't either.
See you
so-
next fall.
Oh my god, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, actually, Suka, just came.
Except I didn't think Europeans called it fall.
You should have sprung forward.
Hey, pikeman, catch!
Yeah, of course, that this Skaven is dead, but you were also reminded by your act of just how far up you are. You haven't heard the body hit the bottom, So you once again are reminded that if you'd fall here, well, from the wall, it's game over. Silke pats you on the shoulder. That was some fine work. Let's move.
I shush her.
Shh. She kicks you in the butt, very lightly. Move. It's more a playful kick, so no worries.
Onward.
Yeah. It took you 1 more hour. It took you another hour to actually reach the place on the wall from which you can see High Watch. It's an impressive sight. It really is. A huge fortress built directly into the Talabheim wall. You've actually had to pass through few of the smaller guard towers, but these were abandoned. There were no Skaven in them. Apparently, Asorak concentrated the entirety of his force in the High Watch itself. Actually, the High Watch is the graphic that I'm always using for our Facebook events. So you can check it out, see how it looks. It's a huge fortress. It's looming out of the fog, like some kind of eldritch, majestic, building from another time, from another era. But you know that inside there's pure evil, and you also know that you need to take it. And also, the fog begins to recede. You don't have much time. You are all once again gathered together. So, please, you have maybe an hour before the signal must be given.
Did you come up against any sentries?
Just
Sally?
one. I decorated the side of the crater with them.
Well, if he made his way out here, then there must be a side door or some way around to where we could get inside.
Yeah, what kind of entrances are there?
You don't see it from here.
Oh, well, I thought we were right at the base of it.
No. There's about it's about 50 meters from your current position.
Okay,
Could we approach?
I'm gonna scout out ahead first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll come back and tell you the layout that I see.
Hey, Sally, if you see a patrolling Skaven, it might be wise to see where he goes. He might lead us to an entrance. Just a thought. If you come across it.
Yeah, I'll do some recon for a second.
All right, we'll hold back here. We're running out of time.
I'm gonna sneak up ahead.
Sorry, you have 2 hours more. But you do realize that once you commence your attack on the high gate, you need to take the upper levels and seal them somehow from the bottom ones, and then just hold long enough, for the long enough to fire the flares, and and make others know that the High Watch has been taken. So really, there's not much time.
Yeah, I guess we can assume the mechanisms would be above the doors, so they would be on the second floor or the floor, whichever floor is above the gates.
Yeah, but fortunately, that's where you are right now. You're hoping that you're very near to the opening mechanisms of the gates.
Yeah.
Of course, there are 2 more floors above you, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. All right, Sally, you're scouting up ahead.
Yeah.
Roll for dexterity with a bonus.
Ooh.
You're making your way as quietly and as You're making your way as quietly and as low as possible through the fog. You eventually almost reach the building itself. Through the fog, you can see the side entrance. A door made from wood and reinforced with steel. In front of the door, there's a ratman. It's leaning against the wall. It it looks like it's sleeping actually. The side is almost comical. It's almost like it looks almost like a human. Well, more like a parody of a sleeping human sentry. It's a normal ratman, so to speak, armored in leather, with a spear, leaning, with a spear clutched in its paws, and a short curved sword at its hip. It's the only sentry that you are seeing.
I'm gonna hurry back to grab everybody so we can catch this guy while he's still sleeping, and I'll just sneak up and poke him with my sword.
Okay.
But I want everyone right behind me so we could storm the place from that point, because I'm not gonna be able to see what's beyond that.
Wait, hisses Suka. After we kill the ratman, maybe it has the key to the watch.
Yeah, we could always throw him over the side too. Yeah. Let's take him out now.
After you search for keys.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, damn it!
Yeah, the Skaven was collecting keys. It has about 100 of them on his person. So, Sally, you're up. This is your time. Your friends and comrades are right behind you. I presume that you are unsheathing your gladius.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the sword.
And
sword out.
And that you're planning to skewer the bastard.
Yeah.
All right. So let's.
If
Yeah.
If we're up with Sally, I'm gonna kind of point a couple people to one side and a couple people to the other side. That way, if it's botched or for whatever reason, we have people, 5 meters to the left and 5 meters to the right, kind of just keeping an eye out for any kind of reaction.
All right. Yeah, actually, in this place, the path is a bit wider because you are right next to the high watch. So.
Yeah. So a couple people moving along one side of the wall, then the other people on the other side.
Suka still has her bow in her hand, and she knocked an arrow on the bowstring. The resistance fighters are all armed with a mixture, with a mix of hand weapons. They have cudgels, axes, daggers, knives. Each has essentially just 2 weapons. Leopold, you are armed with your sword and hammer. And Vincent, you are armed with?
I have my sword, and then at the moment I have the shield, and then everything else is slung.
All right.
Right, yeah. Pistols and blunderbuss are slung.
Right.
Back.
Sally, roll for weapon skill. Let's see if you'll be able to make it.
Do I have a bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's taking forever to roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll use a luck. Sure.
Don't use a luck.
Okay.
Use swift attack. He has another attack, right?
You were trying
that's true.
You were trying to approach the ratman and skewer the thing with your Tylean gladius, but you ran out of luck. Suddenly the thing jerked its head up, opened its beady little eyes, and saw you, trying to sneak up on it. It opened its mouth to issue a warning, when suddenly an arrow went right through its left eye and knocked it down dead. Silka was covering you the entire time.
I'm gonna point at her and smile.
Yeah.
You sly dog, you.
She's like, thumb up. Yeah. No, of course, I'm kidding. She merely nodded her head, put her bow on her back, and drew her sword and shield.
So I'm gonna search the body for some keys and then chuck it over the edge.
The body does indeed have a key on a small, dirty leather string, placed around its neck.
Okay, and just kick the body over the side.
Well, you don't.
The Empire Army side of the wall.
You can't really kick it. You and one other resistance fighter grab it, you by the legs, he by the arms, and just toss it over the edge.
I like how the army's probably waking up, the Skaven body's just falling with thump, thump.
Actually, as you did so, you've noticed that the fog has disappeared completely, and you can see Talgat down below. The sky is overcast, but there's no snow nor rain, and you see a huge number of people down in Talgat on both sides of the river. You can also see that the army already has amassed right right at the entrance to the Wizard's Way. Heavy cavalry at the front, nightly orders. They're just waiting for the signal. The fog is no more. It's now or never. Silke looks at you, and she's like, "Stuck up," and points towards the door. One part of your party on the left, the other on the right. You slid the key into the lock, I presume. Brian?
Yes, I was muted. Sorry.
You slid the key to the lock, I presume.
Yeah.
You open the door. Lucas,
Yes.
you are still camping in your spot. Roll for perception. Ear perception. You hear scraping noises from downstairs.
Okay. What does it sound like the scraping noises are doing?
Walking inside.
Okay. And I'm assuming this is a scraping noise that I would associate with the Skaven?
Exactly.
Okay. Is there a way... Okay, so I quickly want to glance out the window to see if there's any Skaven out there.
You don't see any.
Okay. Is there an easy escape route?
Well, the only way down is down the stairs.
Okay, so in that case...
But there are many rooms here. There are many rooms, and there are many hiding places.
Yeah, I want to find a spot where I can have my bow ready and basically pointing at an entrance, whether it's the entrance, whether it's coming up the stairs, whether it's in a different room with an arrow, right facing the door, something like that.
Okay, just remember, you don't know how many are there.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point.
So,
In that case, do I see a good hiding spot?
roll for perception.
Okay, I literally just clicked. There it is. Did it roll? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you see a huge cupboard. Like it's one of those enormous cupboards in which you could probably stuff like 10 people. Well, maybe 5.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna climb in there and I'm gonna have hatchet in hand.
All right. It's actually in the room that you've been camping in. This was like a mix of a sleeping room and an office, really. It probably belonged to a lady. As you open the cupboard, fortunately, you saw that it's almost empty. So, you've climbed inside, you've closed the door. You are waiting with bated breath. You can hear the scraping noise from downstairs. After a few minutes, you can hear it upstairs. And there's more than one source of noise. Soon, you begin to hear chittering. Quick! Check the rooms! Slaves might hide! Here! Quick! I know! Don't tell me what to do! And then you hear that the voices began to bicker between each other. bigger, but still, they're walking through the corridors. They're opening the doors. You actually have a pretty good view from inside because oh shit, they heard you. Yeah, because there's like a small space between the doors of the cupboard, and you suddenly see a diminutive figure enter the room. It's small, hunched. It has a long tail, an impressive set of whiskers. It also holds a small hatchet-like weapon in one hand and a nasty-looking flaying knife in the other.
I'm definitely thinking a prayer to Tal.
All right. The thing entered and is like looking around, sniffing the air. Yeah. Man. Smells of men. It begins to search the room. What's your course of action?
I am going to wait, and if he opens that door, the hatchet is going to come straight down on him before he even gets a chance to do anything.
All right.
The Smell of Man by Calvin Klein.
Old Spice.
Old Spice, yes.
Smell like a man.
Lucas is regretting living the high life back in Dunkerroot.
Yeah. Well, the rat searches the room. It walks around a bit. To your surprise and disgust, it also urinates in a few places. The stench is horrible. The Skaven piss is one of the worst smells that you've ever smelled. And during the last couple of weeks, you've smelled it quite often. For a few seconds, you believe that it might just, check the room. Just check the room and walk outside. But at some point, it turned its head towards your hiding place. And it approaches. What's inside? You can hear it muttering to itself with its horrible squeaky voice. This is it. You know that it's going to open the door. You ready your hatchet. Roll for weapon skill, with a huge bonus, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a lot.
No.
Unless that's
no.
enough. Okay.
The bonus actually is big enough. You are, of course, sweating profoundly, shaking a bit. But Tao was with you, and as the Skaven opened the door, it managed to say something like, "What the?" And then your hatchet came down and silenced it forever. The body fell to the ground with a horrible wet thump. You can hear the other ratman calling its mate from the corridor. "Ritik! Ritik, you fool! What are you doing there? We must continue our patrol! Quick, quick! Stop playing around! Ritik! Ah! The commander will flay you for that, you..." He uses some strange kind of word which you don't really understand, but which probably means something like imbecile. "Don't let me come get you!" What now?
There's blood, right?
Yeah, there's blood and there's Skaven brain all over the floor. And there's
Okay.
dead Skaven as well.
Right. Well, if there wasn't a whole lot of blood, I was going to pull him in with me and shut it again. That obviously isn't going to work. Switch to the bow, pull, aim right at the door so the minute he walks in.
Alright, you can actually hear the Skaven's comrade approaching the door, cursing loudly. Well, I'm going to just... And he never managed to finish the thought, because as he entered the door, you've put an arrow right through its throat. It fell to the ground, dead. Nice. Leopold, Brian, and Vincent. You open the door. As soon as you open the door, you've heard chittering voices coming from inside. Those of you who have the medallions understand what they are saying. What the? Your shift has not ended. Not yet. Silke just says two words: take them. You rush inside. Now it's initiative time.
Okay.
Okay, and I will actually need this book.
Got a 5 plus
Yeah, and tell me your
44.
Total. 44, right?
I have full mail, so it's just 39.
39, cool.
Oh, I didn't calculate in. What's the minus for full mail?
Minus
5.
5.
Minus 5?
Yeah.
All right, then if it's minus 5, then I come away with a 47.
Okay.
Should we
47?
should we discuss order of movement, or is it wide enough to where we can all kind of move together?
Well, let's say that you've agreed who goes first before. But you also know that once you're inside, the whole order of battle goes out the window. It's just going to be kill or be killed.
All right.
There's no way of holding a formation or organizing a successful offensive strategy. You just need to get inside and kill every single ratman in that room. All right, Leopold, 47, right?
Correct.
Sally.
64.
64.
Jesus.
Yeah, Sally's.
Yeah, I have a 59 agility.
Freaking Spider-Man over here.
All right. So it's Sally, it's Sally, Rats, Leopold, and Vincent.
Yeah.
For the dramaturgy's sake, you're all running inside, weapons drawn.
Yes.
The resistance fighters, they're shouting like, for Tau, for Sigmar, for the Empire.
Tertalia!
Yeah, for for Talia.
Everybody gets real quiet when they hear Talia.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Girlfriend.
Car France.
yeah, a few even shout, Carl Franz!
Build a wall.
Inside there are ratmen. Many ratmen. This room is huge, and actually you were very, very lucky, because you can see that there's an enormous mechanism in the middle of the room. Cogs, counterweights, ropes, and chains. Even though neither one of you is an engineer, you know that this is the mechanism that actually will be able to lift the gate. But that's about it. Other than that, you can see that there are at least a dozen ratmen here, if not more, and most of them are of the black third variety, the elite of the elite, whom Walter Gopfert called Storm Vermin. Apparently, they are the shock troops of the Under Empire, the most dangerous and aggressive of all the Skaven. Each one of them is almost 2 meters tall, broad in the shoulders. They are armed with wickedly looking glaives festooned with horrible fetishes like, fingers, shrunken heads, human bones, as well as they are having, as well as they are wearing mail and leather armor. They are surprised, but because we'll make it that so you were successfully able to run inside. You've actually managed to kill a few of the ratmen, although these were simple clan rats. You've butchered them as you're making your way towards the mechanism, but as you are about halfway through the room, the Skaven reacted, and the battle is on.
Hopefully, they got Karsta's breakfast.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Stormvermin start shitting themselves.
Yeah, and they've shot themselves to death. So, Sally, you're first.
I want to go after one that's standing closest to us.
All right.
And preferably like by themselves, so I don't get swarmed.
You know that if you won't kill them quick enough, you will be swarmed. You can also see doorway leading down the high watch. Right now it's open. You know that it must be closed very, very soon. Sally.
I just want to make sure whoever I charge, I have one of my guys to my right and one of my guys to my left, so I don't get
like I
twice
said,
too,
it's almost impossible. It's
okay.
It's just too frantic, too chaotic. All you can hope for is to kill your opponent very quickly.
I want to yell, secure the doors.
All right.
To anybody and everybody. That's kind of the objective.
All right. You can hear Vincent yell, "Secure the doors!" and you charge your storm vermin. Roll.
I just get the one attack since I'm charging?
Yeah. Wow. No luck points?
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Why not?
Nice.
Oh!
Sweet.
You're charging the storm vermin. You're lifting your gladius up to strike the beast. It, however, is devilishly fast, although not fast enough. And the swing
dodges
of your
right into it.
Yeah, the swing of your Tylian gladius disembowels the fiend. It falls to the ground dead, trying to, clutch at the ropey intestines that are falling from its abdomen. Nice. Now the storm vermin. They countercharge you, essentially. Since you've entered the tower and managed to kill about half a dozen rats already, of the brown furred variety, the storm vermin, uttering shrieking war cries. Those of you who can understand their foul language hear, "For the hornet rat!" Charge you with their glaives. Let's start with Leopold.
Yes.
Leopold. It goes right towards your head.
Okay.
Dodge? Parry?
I do have a weapon out. What is my dodge blow? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, by the way, when you're fighting storm vermin, you have -5 to your weapon skill because they have the trait menacing.
Okay. It looks to me like dodge blow would be slightly better then because it's higher than my agility's higher than my weapon skill.
Okay, cool. So,
Zoink. Oh!
oh.
That sucked.
Let's
All right.
let's say that you had +5 points. Because no, I'm actually serious because the confines of this room, the press of bodies, the furniture. It works to your advantage. You've almost tripped as you try to dodge the thing's deadly blow, but fortunately you've managed to put a chair between you and the storm vermin. The storm vermin promptly destroyed the chair with a single blow from his glaive. Now Vincent, you are charged by another horrible brute, but it misses completely. It swings the glaive, which ricochets off from the stone wall of the high watch. Pieces of stone and sparks fly everywhere. You can see and hear combat being, enacted all around you. Silke dueling with one of the horrible black-furred rats. The resistance members trying frantically to stay alive and make their way towards the door. Although you've heard one of them screaming already, and then you've heard, a body falling to the ground. Right, so we have another round.
Do Leopold and Vincent get their
their
round?
Sorry. Of course. I've got overcarried. Leopold, you're up.
All right. So let me just look at my attack options.
What's a glaive mean in this
Glaive
game?
is just a double-handed weapon, which means it has the impact quality.
Okay.
Yeah, a glaive is
Two-handed weapon.
sort of a pole arm, sort of a axe on the end of a stick.
Okay, because they have halberd and then they have two-handed weapons, so I wasn't quite sure which one they were using.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about, using...
Somebody's making money on eBay.
That's me. I'm selling.
Are you still selling that camera equipment?
Yeah, this is round 2.
Yeah. Yeah, just before we got on, I lost out on an auction for a gobblobber. It went for I was trying to get it for, I was like, I'll punt on it, see what I get. 45. Somebody got it for $52. So anyway,
I've lost an auction on a Vampire the Masquerade book last day. I'm very sad.
Yeah.
Which one?
I just lost one on Empire
Sabbath.
Flagellants.
Which one, Mike?
The Guide to Sabbath.
Which edition?
I think the third.
I might have that. Send me a message in a day or two.
Okay, cool. I will. Thank you.
I'm not going to use it ever, so.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on, build a small collection of World of Darkness books because I love the system.
Yeah, I've got a large collection of them, but let's be honest, I'm never going to use them. So, and even if my kids found it and wanted to play, I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let them run a Sabbat game. So.
Yeah, or a Black Dog game.
Yeah.
Black Dog Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Really, why
Leopold.
not?
Yeah, well, I mean, Black Dog books are very good, but they're just, balls to the wall, insane.
The Jemase clan book would go up as well.
Yeah, I only have one about the cities, and it's all prostitution, drugs, HIV, raping, killing,
Montreal?
maiming. No, it's
Montreal.
Montreal.
No, Montreal was a Black Dog book, and that was a really good one.
Yeah? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Montreal is probably the best by night book that came out at all.
No, it's not by night book. It's like a guide. I think it's for the mage, the Ascension.
Oh, okay.
It's a guide to the streets. I think it's called. I have it in Polish, so I don't really know the proper English title. Very good, but like I said, it's almost too grim at points.
Montreal isn't as bad as the rest of them as far as from that line. I mean, it's still very dark, but it's not over the top dark.
Okay.
Like I said, Montreal is probably the best of any of the city source books of any of the games, in my opinion.
I will need to check it out. Leopold.
You can. I would not sell you my copy of that.
Well, eBay it is then.
Yeah.
Leopold, I suggest that you make swift attack if you have it.
Yes, I do. So I can make 2 attacks then.
Yes.
All right.
First is
go
minus
down.
5. Second is minus 15.
The first is -5 and the second is -15.
Yes, because swift attack works like that.
Okay.
You attack first with your full weapon skill, then it's -10 for the second attack,
Okay.
and the menacing trait
Okay,
gives you
that's
another
for me
minus
to
5.
take to work. That's why I left it up high.
Okay, gotcha.
So roll.
Here.
All right. I don't know how to add the modifiers on the weapon, so I'll just roll it straight, and then -5 from this one.
Well, yeah, you have the +5 for the sword, so.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, it looks like I succeeded
Yeah,
with the first attack.
it will try to dodge. It actually managed to dodge.
You son of a bitch.
Your first attack. Despite their size and their armor, they are devilishly fast.
Okay. Then I'll try a back cut with the Gladius, so now we're at -15.
-10.
Oh, -10. I miss.
No, you did not.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you missed. Okay, so I don't know. You want a luck point for that, or just?
Nah.
That's a botch.
What?
Oh,
botch.
yeah, it's a botch.
Oh, okay. Then I want a luck point.
Yeah.
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 Well,
This is not a botch.
you've almost lost your grip on the Gladius, but fortunately you've managed to, to keep to your weapon. This thing before you, it spins its glaive, in a defensive manner, and it's incredibly fast. This is no ordinary rat scum. This is an elite warrior, a member of their murderous fighting caste. You are in real trouble. Vincent.
Alright, I am going to do a swift attack as well. So, it's just my natural weapon skill since I have the best quality weapon.
Oh.
So that's the first, and it's a miss, and the second is a miss.
Yeah. You've tried to slash the thing before you. It parried both strikes on the haft of its glaive. This is going to be the hardest fight of your entire lives. Sally, you're up. You've killed your storm vermin. You see a corridor before you, right? For a few more seconds, you'll be able to either run to the mechanism or to the door leading down. Or you can stay and fight another storm vermin. What are you planning to do? Ryan?
Muted?
Oh, I was muted. Yeah. We need to get the flare off immediately, right?
No, we
Or do we
need to
need
get
to open the
open.
gate
We need to get
first?
it when we get the thing open, not immediately. Because
So-
if they go now, they won't be able to get in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and open the thing then. Open the gate.
How? Okay, so you're running towards the mechanism.
Yeah.
Roll for intelligence. This time with a minus, because you're no engineer. Oh.
No.
You've run to the mechanism. You are quickly trying to ascertain how it works, but you have no idea. It's
Sally, secure the doors!
It's all gears and cogs and ropes and chains and levers. What's the word? Lever?
Either way works.
Okay, cool. No, because I know
Lever.
that lever is what you use when you drink too much. So
Yeah.
you know.
That's liver, and then there's a lever,
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
there's a
lever
lever.
or lever. It's spelt the same way.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So you are frantically trying to understand how it works. The Skaven, however, won't let you just, foil their plans for Talabheim and Hall of the Empire, in fact. But first, Vincent, Oh no, sorry, Leopold. Let's go from the top.
Okay.
Your rat is, trying to, of course, strike you with a mighty blow, but it also decides to actually, protect its horrible, disgusting, wretched life, and so, it enters into sort of a parrying stance and strikes. It hits you
Ooh.
low in the leg. Are you going to dodge? Or are you going to parry?
I'm gonna dodge because I'm better at that.
All right. You are desperately trying to. Oh my god.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's a luck point time.
Yeah.
Nice,
Hey.
nice. You've almost didn't make it. You've almost lost the leg, but in the last possible moment, you've jumped away from the attack. The blade of the glaive destroyed, a portion of the floor that you were standing on. That's it for your enemy. Now, Vincent, you're Skaven. It does the same thing, but fortunately, more is with you, and once again, its strike went wide. Sally, a small, pathetic, wretched brown-furred creature, tries to stab at you with its hooked, rusty sword, and misses completely. You've managed to swat away the blade with the hilt of your gladius. Now, Leopold, you're up.
Yes. All right. Swift attack. Take
All right.
this sucker out.
Do they all have glaives?
Those that are fighting with you, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
First attack you've missed completely. The Skaven simply step to the side. The second even more so.
Yeah.
Your opponent
Alright.
is stronger than you, and although you don't really want to think too much about it, it's probably it probably has eaten much better than you in the last couple of days or weeks. Although what or who he was eating, well, it's a completely different thing. Vincent,
All right. I'm going to do swift attack again.
awesome.
That's
Nice.
a hit.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Roll a 10.
Yeah, it goes right towards its arm. It's going to try and dodge, and it managed to dodge.
Oh no.
Yes, but there's the second attack.
Second attack. Hey, barely a pass.
Nice.
It's going to parry. It failed. Roll for damage.
All right.
It goes right towards his head. So roll high. Nice.
nice. And I got strike mighty blow, so add 4 to
Oh.
that. So
So it's
13.
13 minus its minus 6. 6? Yeah. Minus 7. All right. You've opened a horrible gash on the creature's on the side of the creature's head. It shrieked with pain, and hissed at you with hate and bloodlust. But well, it's still standing.
Was that times 2 because it was a head strike?
Yeah, it is, but they
Okay.
are very very
Oh,
burly.
these guys are tough.
They are very burly.
Okay.
Funny thing, the storm vermin, according to second edition's rules, basically, when you have chaos warriors and you have storm vermin, the chaos warrior looks at the storm vermin and shits himself.
Oh, real.
Because
Noted.
yeah, because it's like it's a joke. I mean, chaos warriors are a joke when compared to the Blackford Ratmen. It's this was always incredibly funny to me. Anyway, Sally, you have a single rat trying to get you away from the mechanism, stab you to death. You also know that you are running out of time. Any second now, reinforcements from lower levels can, flood the room. and banish any chance that you have to open the gates.
So does the door to the room bolt?
You see that it can be bolted, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get around the one that's fighting me to
You
that
can't.
door.
You are right now. You are in combat. If you want to run towards the door now and close it, you will take a hit.
You'll have to kill
But
him.
So I gotta fight him first.
Or you can take
like.
a single hit. It might miss, and then you'll be able to run towards the door and close it and bolt it at the same time.
Can I dodge the hit?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm running for the door.
All right. You're trying to push, through the past the Ratman towards the door. The Ratman swings at you desperately, but it misses completely. The strike actually, produced sparks as the blade hit one of the chains of the mechanism. You've run to the door, and just in time, because you can smell and hear dozens of Skaven coming from downstairs, chittering furiously. You can understand their foul language. Quick, sound the alarm! We are under attack! You've closed the door, and with a single swift motion bolted it shut. You're just hoping that it will, hold long enough for you to do what you need to do. Whew. All right.
Was that the only door besides
Yes.
the one we came through? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
The brown-furred
Good luck,
ratman charges at you. Perhaps it hopes to win some glory in the eyes of whatever horrible deity it actually, worships. Well, you know what kind of what god the Skaven do worship, but you're trying not to think about it too much. That way, madness lies. And it actually manages to land a strike right on your arm. Are you going to? You've actually dodged this turn. Do you have something in your offhand?
A club.
You can then parry.
Okay.
Nice. Working almost on an instinct, you've managed just in time to parry the Ratman's blow before it cut you open. Leopold.
Yep.
The combat is still going. The Skaven in front of you goes for your arm with its glaive. Remember that it's double-handed weapon, which means that you have bonuses to parrying. But I'm not.
Oh, I do?
I don't remember if you also have bonuses to dodging. If someone could check it very quickly, as I don't have my rulebook in front of me. Stupid of me. Sorry.
So what do you? I have my books open. What do you
I
look for?
want to check if the weapon with impact quality gives bonuses only to parrying or also to dodge blow.
Impact. I think you just roll for damage twice, and you choose the highest one.
No. You also, like double-handed weapons, also give bonuses to parrying and or dodging. Because they're slow.
Oh yeah, the slow quality. All right, let me look up the slow quality. That was an impact.
Oh, slow. Weapons of this quality are heavy and awkward, making them easier to avoid. Enemies gain a plus 10% bonus when trying to parry or dodge a slow weapon.
Excellent.
Nice.
So
It's page 106 in my book.
So you have bonus.
Okay. All right. Well, but still, my dodge is my better attribute, so I get a plus 10% to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will do that. Woohoo!
Excellent.
I dance around him like a monkey.
Exactly. However, you know that you don't have all day.
No.
You've seen Sally running towards the door and, shutting it close, like a heroic halfling that he is.
Hmm.
But it's only a matter of time before the Skaven will break the door down. Vincent, your ratman, tries to gut you, but it fails miserably. Moore is with you, and he protects his own.
Thank goodness.
Leopold, you're up.
Swift attack! I passed it. Darn it. Sorry. My scrolling is not as good as it used to be. Alright, first attack.
Not quite as swift as. Nice. Yeah.
No.
That hits.
Yep. Well, he has a +5.
Oh,
for his weapon.
yes. +5, -5, so okay. You've managed to hit. It will dodge? It dodged.
That happened last time.
Yeah.
Alright,
Second
I
attack.
will attack again, so now I get -10%, if I recall correctly.
-5. You still have.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa!
I
Nice.
It's the head. It will try to parry it. Yeah.
Oh, these clever bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, you are reminded that you're not fighting ordinary mooks, but determined elite warriors of a horrible subterranean race. This is not going to be easy at all. Sally, you're fighting with the brown-furred ratman. You see, well, actually, you can roll for perception as a free action. Oh, you've managed to roll. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You see that the situation looks grim. Half of your resistance fighters are dead already. Silke is dueling 2 storm vermin at once. She's also bleeding heavily from a couple of nasty wounds. Your friends, your comrades, are doing, fighting as best as they can, but the black-furred ratmen are just too much for them. Fortunately, the other rats are, have either fled through the door when you've stormed the house, or they're scurrying under the walls, letting their bigger cousins do all the work, except for the one that's fighting with you. What are you going to do?
I mean, we're committed now. We have to keep fighting.
Yeah. So
You at least have to kill the ones that are in this room.
sorry.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
hit it by accident. So,
Brian.
swift attack, I guess.
Okay, go for it. Nope.
No. Next.
Nope.
No way.
You're
Okay.
slashing furiously at the ratman in front of you, but it simply dances away, laughing in its horrible, squeaky voice and mocking you. It will now try and stab you to death. And its strike goes right. No, it actually misses your arm by a few inches. Leopold,
Okay.
your ratman presses the attack. It manages to hit your
Jeez.
leg.
Okay. Plus 10% to dodge blow.
Yeah,
Take that.
you've dodged excellently, most excellently. Vincent, your rat.
Ah!
Your rat raised its glaive up, and then you stabbed it in the
Then-
throat.
Alright. That blow to the head slowed him down a bit.
Yeah, the life went away from its horrible red eyes. It slammed dead to the ground, almost wrenching the exotic sword from your hand. You are free from any rats, at least for now. Okay, Leopold.
Yep.
You're up.
Okay. I will attack again. Although I'm beginning to wonder if I should just pull the blunderbuss out and shoot him in the face. But
Oh yeah, forgot.
well, the problem is that it'd take me a turn to do that. So.
Not to mention
Stay,
that
stay.
you will hit a few of your fellows, because the blunderbuss is an area of effect weapon.
Well, is it people I don't care about?
Of course.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm going
That's
to
a
continue
pretty-
my terrible sword attack.
That's a pretty cheap way to think.
All right, I missed at the first one,
Yeah.
and the second one.
Hey,
Yoink!
It will
Take that.
It will try to dodge.
Yeah.
It failed. Roll for damage.
Sweet. About time. Jeez.
make it count.
Yeah, make it count.
10.
D10 plus 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, unless you have Strike Mighty Blow, then it's plus 5.
I do.
So it's 5. Remember about those skills, boys.
Yeah. I don't know why it's taking, sorry, it's taking me a while to. There we go. Take
Nice.
that.
Oh,
Excellent.
Should have said
You've
Sigma Fury.
You've struck it right at its ribs. You've cut through its armor. There's blood everywhere. The thing. Remind me, you've already damaged it, right?
No, I haven't hit it once.
No, it was Vincent. Sorry, yeah. The thing hissed with pain and fury. It uttered something like, "Die, die, man thing!" And it keeps fighting. Vincent, you're up.
All right, who's closer, the one Sally's fighting or the one Leopold's fighting?
You tell me.
probably the one
Uh,
Leopold's fighting. Because that'd be by the door on the opposite
Yeah,
end of the
yeah.
room.
Actually, it's Leopold is closer.
All right, I'll stab. I'll do a all.
No. You
Okay.
you need to approach it. It's
Oh,
not. It's not.
can I charge?
No.
Can I charge it?
You need to move and attack.
Oh, okay, I will move and attack then.
All right. You try to support Leopold. You approach his assailant. You're raising the mysterious Oriental blade up and bring it down on your enemy. Roll for weapon skill. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Roll for damage because it already dodged this turn.
All right.
Kill.
So 4 plus another 4, so 8.
8. To your
You have strike
horror,
mighty blow, right?
Yeah, that was.
to your horror,
Okay.
your blade slid over the thing's armor.
Oh man,
Yeah.
serious armor.
Sally, the Skaven in front of you is mocking you openly.
Swift attack.
Excellent, for great justice. It will,
Hey.
Nice.
it will attempt to dodge. It failed. Roll for damage.
Plus 4, 8.
For 8. Nice. You've
Your
slashed.
strength.
You've slashed at the upper portion of his left leg. The thing howled in pain, but it's still standing. Come on, keep the pressure. All right, who disconnected?
Brian. Looks
Oh,
like.
Brian?
He's
You?
back.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
S-
Yeah, second attack?
yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Roll for damage.
Okay. 8 again.
8 again. It was enough. You've opened the thing's chest, cutting open its vile black heart. The Skaven fell to the ground dead, vomiting blood everywhere. Nice. Leopold,
Yes.
your rat. I will see. Oh, so it can be D100. 150, it keeps attacking you. 50 plus, it will attack Vincent. It will attack Vincent this time.
Nice.
Oh, it botched, so it doesn't know who to attack.
Not this time. But fortunately, it failed completely. The glaive went over your head. Leopold, you're up.
Yep. Okay, 2 attacks. So, do we get pluses now because we're double teaming him?
Yes.
Okay. Miss with the first attack, of course.
Yes.
Second attack.
Nice.
It will
Take
try
that.
to dodge.
Man.
It danced away.
Dodge
I know that was-
the-
I know that's pretty good, but are they getting the minuses for the armor to their agility?
Yeah, they already have their.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
no way he didn't dodge that.
I know. I'm just
The Skaven have insanely high agility, essentially.
yeah.
So all right, Vincent, you're up.
All right, I want to swift attack him as well.
All right, cool.
That's a miss. Second attack. It's a hit with bonuses.
Yes. So you because you have plus, but you also have
Even
minus.
without the-
Yeah. Roll for damage.
All right, come on, something high.
Sigmar's Fury.
You've raised the sword. You were like, oh! And then the sword just slid over its armor once again. The thing still stands, and now I'm actually going to roll 1d4 for each of you. 1. Leopold, you're getting another rat, but this time it's one of the smaller brown rats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leopold, behind you.
Yeah, you've essentially, heard Vincent saying that, and that's why you haven't been surprised. But first is Sally. Sally, you are seeing that the smaller brown ratmen have finally found the courage and are engaging your friends and the resistance party in general. You can also hear hammering at the door behind you and angry, furious screeches of dozens of ratmen trying to come inside. What's your plan?
I want to strike the one that just charged Leopold.
Well, you won't be even able to get to it right now because the press of bodies is too much. You can attack some random rat.
Can he
Okay.
better secure the door, or will that not make any difference?
Well,
Can I try the mechanism again?
yes, you can approach the mechanism and try to tinker with it.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that again.
Okay, you approach the mechanism. Roll for intelligence.
Hey,
You think you know how it works. You need to pull the lever.
you need to pull the only lever.
Yes, you need to pull the only lever. No, I'm actually not kidding. You need to pull the only lever in here, but since you're not an engineer, and this is not Renaissance Europe, then it's almost like a magic to you, this contraption. But you think that if you pull this lever, it will work. So next turn you can do that. Because this turn was like, was you thinking about it very hard. Leopold, you're turning around just in time to see a scaring ratman advancing at you with a rusty blade and a shield covered in probably human skin and trying to gut you.
Okay.
So,
I will swift attack him.
no, but it's his turn actually.
Oh, he's attacking me.
Yeah. But he failed. You've managed to block the ratman's strike on your hammer, with your hammer, sorry. Vincent, you're right now dueling with these immense storm vermin.
Yep.
The thing is trying to cut off your arm. Are you going to dodge or parry?
Let's see. I think I'm going, since it's a. Oh, I get bonuses to both. I'll probably parry since I have the shield, so that's that's a lot of bonuses stacking up. So
All right.
I'll parry. And
Nice.
Succeed.
You've managed to parry the thing's strike with your shield. And now it's Leopold's turn.
Okay.
So,
Now I'm going to swift attack it.
excellent. Go for it. No.
Second attack.
No.
Well, yeah, shoot.
No. Even with +5, no.
Nope.
Well, wouldn't that depend on which one he's fighting? If he's fighting the one that Vincent's also engaged with.
Oh no, I'm
you
fighting
get
the
fun.
one that's attacking me though, because
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
that
So,
would be.
no bonuses here. And Vincent, remember that you don't have any bonuses right now, because Leopold is not fighting your Storm Vermin.
Yeah, I'm looking at Leopold thinking that I got the raw end of this deal.
Yeah, probably. A pissed off Blackford rat, and now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Because Leopold's both strikes made by Leopold were stabbed by the thing's horrible shield. So, roll.
Alright, on a swift strike. Hey!
Nice. It's going to try that.
Botch!
Yeah. It tried to dance away, and you don't really know how exactly, but there was some kind of instinct that told you to reverse the blade at the last possible moment and cut it from below. You've opened it from the groin to the throat. The fountain of blood was impressive. It actually, covered you almost from top to bottom. The thing fell dead, gurgling horribly. You see, you quickly take a look around, and to your relief, you see that this room has almost been taken. Although there are only 2 resistance fighters left, and Silke, is dueling the last of her Storm Vermin. The other one lays dead right next to her without its head. The room is almost yours. But how long it will be? So, eh? Sally, you are pulling the lever.
Let's do it.
You can hear the gears working. You can feel the mechanism doing its job. Immense forces, immense pressure, works to lift the gate. And you all can hear and feel in your bones the mighty gate of Talabheim, or actually gates, because there are more than one, rising up. And that actually this heralded the liberation of the city. But now it's time for a 5-minute break.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry. We'll be back in 5.
Okay.
Hey, Sean,
Yeah.
what are you using to store all that terrain you've been building lately?
I just had it in a cardboard box in the garage with a bunch of other stuff piled on top of it. So.
Yeah, because I've got my finished terrain that way right now, and I got to figure something out.
Right. Well, that's the thing is, I literally someone pointed out, it's like, oh, so that's like just shy of 28 years. Not bad. So I'm just dry brushing it right now. But yeah, the side door on it, I don't like how I did it, but it's already glued on, so that's how it goes.
Is that pretty tall terrain?
No, this one it's the barn from that White Dwarf article. I think it's from like White Dwarf 140 or something like that.
Okay.
So it's let me see. I got a ruler here somewhere. I can tell you.
Yeah, because finding the perfect box for terrain. Like I'm making all this terrain, which is like exactly 1 inch tall, and I just got this like keyboard box, which is the
Mhm.
perfect height and like the perfect width for all the very short stuff.
It's about like 4.5 inches tall, and about 5.5 on one dimension, and about like 5.25 on the other.
My problem is a lot of my stuff is like 5 and 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I might have to pull it all out, measure the height of it, and then find one of those. See if I can't find a couple of the. Oh, my mind is blanking. Like the plastic storage bins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
From like
I
Home
think
Depot
just
or something.
doing that and like putting, if you can get like a layer of foam or something and throw it in there,
Yeah.
sort of stack stuff on top of each other. If it's not,
You can get 'em.
This whole thing is made out of foam core and balsa and little like cardboard stuff like that.
We can't all live in Arizona where you can afford huge homes, so
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of space. So
Well, I mean,
unfortunately.
compared to Texas, this house isn't quite as big, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah. You and your lightning wires and illuminating globes.
Yeah.
Us folks that still have to do time change.
Oh man. Well, you know what though? What's messed up is so I have my phone set to just get whatever the local cell tower stuff is, and for some reason it decided that it had used daylight savings. I'm like, why would it do that? So I had to go in and manually set my cell phone to Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah. Did you see that Florida, I guess, just voted to get rid of it too? But but not actually get rid of it. Never go off daylight savings time.
Oh, okay.
Is that where you are in
No,
Arizona?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in Arizona, and we don't do daylight savings time. Although when we went up to Page, Arizona, to go see Antelope Canyon last fall, apparently they don't have their own cell towers in Page, so you're getting the cell signal from Utah, I guess.
I'm back.
But somewhere in a different time zone, apparently.
Yeah.
By the way, if any of you guys have a rulebook for the vampire to sell, I'll be much obliged. Of
Oh,
course.
which edition of that? Because I know I have multiples of that.
The third, probably, the last. Like not the V20 or the anniversary,
Right.
of course. I mean the last of the old editions, so to speak.
Yeah, there was like second edition, and then like second edition enhanced, and then like or second edition something, and
Yeah, like the last before the V20, actually,
they pull up the Wikipedia article.
Because I'm probably going to run a vampire game in a couple of months, and I would much
Revised.
Oh yeah, revised.
Yeah, revised edition.
Yeah.
I know I've got. I know I've got that. Yeah, shipping books to Europe is expensive though. Let me see if I've got the Sabat book first.
Okay.
Might
Because
be
I'm
worth it to
actually
ship
going
too,
I'm actually going to ship something to Jason in a like day or two.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much that's going to be.
Well, actually not that much, actually, from what I understood, but I will need to go to post office and of course, ask about the insurance and stuff like that. But you will almost certainly receive a rather large portion of your funds that you've sent me back, so to speak.
All right.
Unless I'm going to use it to buy drugs.
Have they legalized it in Poland?
No, not really, but who cares, right?
Well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah. No.
I was surprised that it passed in Arizona, quite frankly, but
No, we still have very restrictive laws when it comes to drugs. Not when it comes to alcohol, of course, because, well, it's Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
It's the accepted drug.
Yeah, but even like I think you won't be getting to jail if you have like a gram of weed or maybe even less.
Mm.
Then it's okay. I mean, they will confiscate it, of course, and and like that's that. I mean, they won't even charge you with anything. But more than a gram, it's game over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we are only talking about weed. Not about heroin or
Correct.
cocaine or amphetamines, some stuff
Yeah.
like that. Is Brian here or not?
Yeah, I'm here.
So everyone's here, right?
Yep. We're all here.
Andy, you too?
I
Actually,
thought I heard Andy Kidd.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
okay. So
Just as a heads up, I can only play until about the end of this hour.
yeah, we are going to. I mean, we will end this pretty soon because this is the end, actually.
Okay.
So allow me to finish the. Let me tell you about the end of the campaign, because you are successful. You were successful in your endeavors. Lucas, suddenly, from your vantage point, you saw a flare coming from the High Watch. A few seconds later, you've begun to see other flares popping all around the city. From the direction of God's Row, from other districts, the signal to start the revolution has been given.
Viva la revolution!
Yes, Bretonian,
That's Spanish.
native. Oh, sorry, an Estalian native to Talabheim said in one of the resistance parties. And so, you've joined Sergeant Utter, and you went to war. The Myrmidians stormed out from their temple, more like a bunch of mercenaries and free company men than uniformed, coherent force. But still, their mastery of tactics and strength, strength of arm, ability to fight, was almost unmatched. With guttural, brutal cries, the dwarves of the Stonehouse, armed and armored in Gromril, surged out to fight the ancient enemies of their race. Axes and hammers held high, and oaths to the ancestor gods on their lips. At the same time, the remnants of Talabheim's army, led by General Hefner himself, entered through north and east of the city and engaged the Ratmen in a brutal series of hit-and-run attacks. And, riding along the Wizard's Way and through the open portal, a full contingent of Reichsguard, the Emperor's personal Praetorians, with their master and Reichsmarshal himself leading them, charged into Talabheim. Since many of the Ratmen were alerted to the party attacking the High Watch, a sizable contingent of them actually waited right before the gate, and leading that contingent was a mighty warlord on a horrible rat-like beast, encased in black iron plate and wielding a warpstone-fueled glaive. The warlord tried to organize his troops in repelling the approaching Reichsguard and units of infantry following them, but he fell, his head chopped cleanly off by Kurt Helborg's Runefang, one of the legendary 12 swords forged for the first 12 chieftains of Sigmar. The battle was long, the battle was hard. But even though it raged for a whole day, the Empire always held the upper hand. And at last, at the end of this day, Talabheim is free. You've managed to survive the liberation. You've managed to, even though each of you received many wounds because, well, like I said, the battle took many more hours and you were all participating in it. You've managed to eventually meet each other once again. Right where it all began, almost, in Merchant District. The first place that event... What's that sound?
I was just closing the door.
Okay.
I got you on speaker right now.
Okay. Right in the same place where it all began. The Empire army that liberated Talabheim, actually, being composed of regiments from all of the Empire, Rakeland, Wissenland, Known, Averland, and many others, are mopping up the last of the occupants, and already restoring order to the city. The next couple of days were a literal rush, as you were brought before the Reichsmarshal himself, the heroic figure of Count Herborg, armored in a full suit of plate, and with his magnificent sword at his side, looked at each of you, a bunch of disheveled, poor, well, half-starved revolutionaries, and he shook each of your hands, saying that the Empire has a great debt to each of you, that it will probably never be able to repay. But that was the last time that you saw Reichsmarshal, and in the days that followed, it almost felt like a dream of sorts. You, of course, met with General Hefner, who survived the retaking of the city, although, like many of his men, he sustained injuries, his left arm in a sling. He also congratulated each of you, and naturally, since you are the leaders of the resistance, he invited you to the Grand Manor, where the current rulers of Talabheim have gathered to, plan the rebuilding of the city. You met Gennaro there, in one of the quarters that were reserved for you. The young man looks horrible. He lost most of his hair. His cheeks are sunken. His face is gaunt. He clearly is extremely malnourished. His face and arms are covered in myriad scratches, but he's alive. Although he was too weak to get up and greet you, he still smiled at you. "I knew you would come for me," he managed to croak, seeing each of you. You didn't really had a chance to say farewell to most of your resistance fighters, at least fellow resistance fighters, at least those who survived. Silka survived the battle for the High Watch. I swear to fucking God, if I hear this sound one more time, it's Ashen Assassin time. No, just kidding, of course. But, atmosphere. Okay, sorry. Silka survived the final battle, although she took injuries. Jornen Yavandir managed to kill the warlock engineer, although Jorn received a nasty scar on his face and Yavander got his left arm badly burned, but in a typical elven fashion, he seems indifferent to his injury. Karsta didn't manage to survive the siege. When the attack started on the High Watch, the poor girl, apparently half mad from listening to the voice of the Skaven and stricken with grief after a loss of her father, charged out from her shop, wielding a huge cleaver, and managed to kill two of the ratmen before she was brought down and torn to shreds. Yeah, I'm actually going to just see the whole list of your fellow revolutionaries. Okay, Kasta, yeah. Otto von Friedhurst and Heinz Alvik survived the battle. You knew that much. Otto, being a field surgeon, Otto being a former surgeon, helped in treating many of the wounded soldiers and civilians of Talabheim. Konrad Fleischer, the butcher, fell during the siege. His cell being completely wiped by the rampaging rat ogres. Newt, of course, survived, being a sneaky child. You only saw her once, right at the end of that fateful day. You saw her standing in a small side alley where she sent a smile towards your way, nod her little head, and then just disappear. Tobol, the halfling, who took part together with Jill, Deadeye, and a few of the more hardened veterans of the resistance, managed to survive, although he lost his left leg. Still, that didn't in any way hampered his enthusiasm, and right now he says that finally he'll be able to take that desk job that he dreamed of for so many years in one of the many buildings of the district, of the Low District. Yerl, the former spice merchant, died a hero, and it was because of his actions that many of the Skaven died, because during the assault on the underground tunnels from which the Ratmen brought ammunition to Talabheim, it turned out that the Skaven actually managed to create a couple of kill zones right before the entrance, suppressing the assaulting resistance party, killing many of them with their horrible amounts of warps on firepower. It was Yerl who grabbed two lit black powder charges and charged through the storm of bullets towards the entrance. According to Deadeye, he was hit more than a dozen times, but still managed to sacrifice himself in destroying the strange conveyor system that the Ratmen were using to bring the venom spheres from their horrible under-Empire tunnels. The ensuing explosion destroyed most of the spheres, releasing the gas which flooded the tunnels. And well, it's not really known how many rats it managed to kill. But after the battle, you've heard from many Imperial officers that if not for the sacrifice of this courageous but ultimately doomed young man, many more people would die at the hands of the reinforcements from under the earth. As to Deadeye, he only spoke to you briefly at the end of the battle, saying that he'll need to talk to a couple of high-ranking commanders and wishing you farewell. And well, after that, it was party time.
Drinks are on Lucas.
No,
Yeah.
because the next couple of days were like a dream. You were placed in the Grand Manor, in Talabheim's Grand Manor, where you spend your days and evenings eating, drinking, and socializing with many of the Imperial Army's officers, even though the bulk of the army actually left the city some 3 days after the end of the siege. You've also spoken to the surviving Talabheim noblemen and women who fled the invasion to places like Dankerud, Sumfrant, and Vateresh in the south and northeast of the crater. The chit chat was pleasant enough. You know, they were asking you about your courageous actions, about fighting the Skaven. You know, of course, there was a lot of patting at on the back and phrases being thrown like "you are true heroes" and you know the Empire needs more men like you and so on. But after a few days, you've discovered a strange thing. You've discovered that there were also strange looks directed at you. There was also this kind of reserve in the voice of your, you know, of the nobles. Some of them glared at you with almost hostile intent when they thought you weren't looking, and when you've caught them on it, they've of course immediately, you know, looked the other way or began to discuss things with each other. Although you didn't really, well, you didn't really, you know, thought too much about it, since for the first time in weeks you were given hot meals, you were given delicious wine, you know, roasted beef and pig meat, fresh bread and butter. You were living like kings in the luxurious opulent rooms of the manor, which of course has been completely cleared of all the undead, as well as Dr. Gugula Skell's, you know, necromantic paraphernalia. After the siege, a small bands of witch hunters were seen scouring the city, looking for any, you know, any remaining pieces of Skaven technology, and they of course, together with Knights of More and Priests of More, made sure that every single piece of Dr. Skell's necromantic knowledge has been secured. Most of it has been burned, although you've heard rumors that at least 2 full carts have been seen loaded with books and scrolls found in the manor and then driven away out of the city. Also, according to some of the rumors, though you're not sure how reliable these are, the Imperial engineers managed to secure a few pieces of strange Ratman arcane technology, perhaps to study it, to understand it, or maybe even to reverse engineer it. Finally, the leader of the Skaven, Xathrodox86's, hasn't been found. No one knows if he managed to fled to the tunnels under the city. No one knows if he managed to survive the siege, but his body was never piled atop others outside of Talabheim, where huge pyres of dead ratmen burned for many more days. their stench permeating the air, and well, leaving a bad taste in your mouths. Funnily enough, the Eye of the Forest gets back to business as usual, as quickly as possible. The damage caused by this cave-in is swiftly repaired with hard work. The many citizens lost during the infestation are replaced with a number of Hochland refugees and others who are interested in permanently immigrating to Talabheim. Many of the citizens of Talabheim begin willfully rewriting their own history, insisting that it was merely rat-like men who invaded their city, ignoring all trace of the Skaven's technology, much of which was swiftly appropriated by Imperial engineers, as I've mentioned earlier. It's about a week. After about a week of pretending that you are welcome to the higher social classes of Talabheim, you are suddenly woken up in the middle of the night. Each of you, of course, got his own room. You are each woken in the middle of the night by a knight of the Verdant Field, the order to which Silke belongs. With hushed voices, they tell you to quickly gather your things and follow them, and don't ask any questions, which I presume all of you do, unless someone doesn't want to. If so, then please tell me.
I follow. Yeah.
You are quickly brought to the western wing of the manor, the place where you've managed to defeat the horrible necromancer Gugula Skell, and which even now is being rebuilt. There are, scaffoldings everywhere. The destroyed masonry has been cleaned up. Probably in a month or two, the manor will be good as new. In a large chamber, dimly lit by few candles and a single small storm lantern, you see the familiar figure of Silke, dressed in this time in a half-plate armor and with a long green cloak over her shoulder. Right next to her stands Deadeye, looking much better, although still rather strangely undwarfish. His peculiar-looking crossbow slung over his back and his fancy helmet under in the crook of his arm. There are a few other Knights of the Verdant Field. You approach, fully dressed, of course, and with all your stuff. Silke steps towards you. You have to get out before someone tries to kill you, she says. Blunt and to the point, as usual. And looks at each of you with hard eyes. I presume that you have all forgotten how to speak, or are just.
All right, what did Vincent do now?
Yeah, I thought it was part of the narrative. I thought she was going to go on.
No.
Well, why did somebody want to kill us?
The laws of Talabheim are clear. As some of the most prominent defenders of Talabheim, after the bulk of the nobles fled, you now own the Eye of the Forest. You are essentially the new rulers and leaders of Talabheim, says Silke. That's how the law works. But
what did I miss?
What?
What did I miss? I was out for like 20 seconds.
We own Talabheim.
Okay, once again. What's the last thing you remember, Brian?
We have to get out because someone's trying to kill us.
Okay, so Silke looks at you and says, the laws of Talabheim are clear. As some of the most prominent defenders of the city, after the bulk of the nobles fled, you now own the Eye of the Forest. You are essentially rulers of Talabheim, according to law. However, the moneyed powers of the city will of course not let it stand for long. you will, well, we've received reports that within the next few days, each of you will meet a horrible and grisly end. We must get you out of the city. And that's not all, says Deadeye, looking at you seriously. You remember Honorius Kippenberg?
No.
I remember the name.
Scholar and engineer, Manling.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He and his entire family have been found dead. Right, well, last evening, actually, in their home. Their heads are missing, and there was a rune carved in each of their bodies. The mark of the hornet rat.
Hmm.
The eye of the forest is no longer a safe place for you. That grey-furred bastard managed to escape, and trust me, there are two things that can be said about the Skaven: that they are cowards, and that they are very, very vengeful creatures. We will escort you outside of the city, says Suka. There's a carriage waiting for you there. Dwarf here tells me that you know the driver. Of course, there's also, and she gestures at one of her fellow knights, there's also a small reward for your actions. The knight walks forward with a small chest, opens it, and inside you see 5 rather big bags, purses of gold. Take this with our eternal thanks and gratitude, but know also that you will never ever be able to return to Talabheim. I'm sorry for that, and I wish that it could be another way.
Okay, so that's Nuln, check. Talabheim, check.
Now it's time for
What did you
Marion.
like to know?
Now it's time for Marienburg, Manling, says that.
Yeah. I'm still allowed to go there.
I
according
will
to
send
my
you
list.
there. The Marienburg is a free neutral city. You will be able to disappear there rather easily. Take this. He hands Vincent a scroll in a tube. This is a letter. A letter for the Imperial Ambassador in Marienburg. He will essentially help you to set up shop in the city, if you know what I mean. Now, what are you waiting for? For a knife in your back?
Nope.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get our stuff and head on out.
You have your stuff with you.
Oh, okay.
Knights here will escort you outside of the gate. Olesia is waiting for you in Talgat. Of course, she's been paid to deliver you to Marienburg, and there are enough supplies to last you for the entire road. Now, take into account, you will be traveling through the northern parts of the Empire. It won't be a safe journey. So, you may need to, well, do what's necessary, if you know what I mean. He looks at you, and for the first time you see that he smiles. I can understand why Nidus liked you so much. Best of luck to you manlings, and to you halfling. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. The knights look at you and say, "May the blessing of noble Tau and mighty Sigmar be with you always." And with that, they escort you out of the Grand Manor, out of Talabheim itself, and into Talgat, which still...
Is Gennaro with us?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Which is still full of, Empire soldiers, although not as many as before, and actually of many new citizens. Some of them perhaps will stay in this small city, well, small town outside of Talabheim, and others will probably, venture into the eye of the forest to become its new occupants. When she sees you, Olesias doesn't waste time. Just nods her head. Get up in the back. We have long road ahead of us. And with that, you board the carriage, familiar carriage, which it seemed like it was almost yesterday when you've last left it. And you begin your trek to the north, to the most fabulous and wealthy free city in the whole of the old world, Marienburg, which once belonged to the Empire, but now is a state of its own. And the Temple of Myrmidia, where only the bravest are allowed to venture, a statue depicting you is reverently placed with a small plaque that reads simply, "We remember." The end.
Woo.
Hey.
All right.
Excuse me.
No worries. Nice.
How much gold is in the purses?
How much do you want it to be? In reasonable, of course, amounts.
$1 million.
1 million gold crowns!
Well, are we still doing the 20% in the war chest?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Probably
Yeah.
Okay.
it's probably reasonable. Alright. So, that's it. How much gold? 30 gold crowns each. Sounds good?
Sure.
Okay. So
I'll figure out the math on the 20%.
I don't know who was making notes
It's
today.
6.
I don't know
6
who was
each.
making notes today, but now it's time for me to give you your experience points, and of course, extra rewards for finishing the campaign, because we have finally finished Terror in Talabheim. Thank you guys very much. It was fantastic, and I hope you liked it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I know
It was a solid campaign.
What?
It was a solid campaign.
Yeah, I know that it's actually one of the less popular ones, but honestly, I just like it very, very, very much. Mainly for the change of shift, at one point where it turns into a military campaign. I really like that part. Anyway, first, I will give you points for finishing the campaign. Everyone gets 500 points.
Jeez.
Yeah, and of course, everyone gets a single fate point. Actually,
Alright.
tell me, how much fate points does each of you have? Starting from Brian. Brian, how many fate points do you have?
I have 1.
Andrew.
I have 2.
Jason.
I had 2. This will be 3.
Sean.
I have 2 currently. With the 1, if you give us 1, I'd have 3.
So, scratch that. Each of you gets 2 fate points.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, because now we are getting into real business. Oh yeah. So, 2 fate points each, 500 points for the campaign. For the game today, 100 points, because it was the last session. 10 points to each of you for your characters. 10 points to each. No, sorry, wait. Let's go properly. Brian, your place of origin.
I shouted something in Italian.
Yeah. You were saying something. I'm not counting that Italia thing. Just so you know.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I saw it kinda. I will give you 5 points. Andy, you.
I mean, other than skulking around, hunting kind of stuff, not really.
Mm,
And that's more of maybe the star sign, I think. So
okay. Jason and Sean, I didn't really saw any Visenland in
Nope.
your game today.
Agreed.
Religion, Brian, you were saying something about run out. Yeah, you were saying something about run out. And,
Yeah, so
yeah,
Ronaldo convinced Hal to place his bets on us.
it was great. 10 points. Andrew, you were saying something to Tal.
Yeah, I muttered a prayer when the Skaven were in the house while I was hiding, but that's it.
Yeah. So, I will give you 5 points for that. Jason, any more?
I don't think I had anything.
Okay. Sean. Actually, Sean, I will give you 10 points because... no, sorry, 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 points. No, because I've mistook you for Jason to one right now. In the combat with Storm Vermin, Jason, I mean the Storm Vermin, who each of them has 65 weapon skill, just so you know, were constantly missing Jason. And it was like, if Jason would actually say something like "more protects me" or something like that, I would give him points for that, because that really was a godly protection.
Yeah.
But you were saying something about Sigmar, Sean, so I will give you 5 points for this. Okay, Brian, your star sign.
Righteous, fearless, merciful. I think I did righteous and fearless. I'm not sure I did merciful. Yeah.
Merciful, not really, but I will give you 10 points because you were, you've closed the door. You've tried to tamper with the mechanism. You've tried to, you successfully tried to kill the sentries. That was pretty baller. 10 points. Andrew, star sign.
Mummit the Fool, sensible, intuitive, lucky. That's also the adventurer's
10 points.
star sign. So that's what I was saying more about the.
Yeah, very, very good. Jason.
Gungren's Baldric, militant profession of arms. Well, I fought my Black Skaven and then Sean's Black Skaven when he decided to be cheap and attack the weaker one.
Okay. 10 points. Yeah, that was very good. Sean?
The main thing was remembering that Lucas said he would buy us drinks at the end.
Cheap, okay.
For Cacklefax the Cockerel.
Okay.
I think also the fact that I started fighting his Storm Vermin, and then he just went off to fight somebody else. And I was like, God damn it! I thought that was pretty cheap. Granted, it was the best.
The guy was attacking me from behind. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I know. But
yeah, I mean, I can give you 5 points for that. I think that's fair. What say you? It's fair or not?
Yeah, 5 points is fair.
Okay. Doom, Brian.
I was waiting for an opportunity to come up, and I never saw one, so nothing.
Okay. Andrew?
Let's see, what is my doom? I've got it written down on the other. The sword shall bring no justice, only suffering. I killed a lot of people without a sword today. But in all seriousness, I mean, I think today was kind of the accumulation of justice being brought. Although it was brought through warfare, so it's kind of contradictory to the.
Yeah, but you were using axe. I like your way of thinking. So for that, I will give you 10 points because that's the good interpretation of your doom. Good, nice.
Okay.
And 5 points for Brian for his halfling. Okay, so guys, this is it.
What about Leopold and Vincent for Doom?
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, forgot about you.
I didn't get anything for my Doom.
Okay, Jason, and you?
Now that I think about it, I missed a great opportunity, but I don't really have anything.
Okay. So that's it. I think you've received quite a lot of points, so you'll be able to, stack up on good stuff until next session.
Yeah. I had a lot saved up too.
Yeah. Now, yes. Now, of course, during that week, which I was talking about, you had the opportunity to learn whatever you wanted. All right. So heraldry or some secret signs, or Sally, you could have spent this time with Yorn and establish the your organization. Okay, that's like
Yeah, so we'll work that out over the
yeah.
semester.
Jason, you were able to speak with priests of Moor, or with a contingent of Raven Knights, or whatever order you want to join. I don't know if it's Raven Knights or if it's Blackguard.
It's Blackguard
Okay,
first.
so with Blackguard, of course, you've spoken to them. Oh, by the way, Sean, the Elven amulet mysteriously appeared in your pocket.
Jason.
Jason, the Elven amulet mysteriously appeared in your pocket.
Okay, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. So just so you know. Oh yeah. The only other thing is that after the siege, you were approached by the priests of Tal, and they've spoke to you about the vision on the Talbaston wall about the wolves, because apparently Silke told them, and they wanted to inquire you about that little vision. But so if any of you want to like learn something more about the Tau religion, Tal faith, that's your opportunity. Like you can do that.
I was thinking academic knowledge necromancy.
No, that's. I mean,
No, I can't.
Well, honestly, I think in the time with the Knights of Moor
okay.
or with the Black Guard, I think that's part of the training. So
you can, of course, but Sean, tell me how do you want to learn that? I mean, you as a character, because Jason is actually going to become a knight of Moor.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just. First of all, I was just looking because for skills for Vampire Hunter and then later for Witch Hunter, that's one of the things, academic knowledge, necromancy.
Okay. So tell you what, we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can do it that way. If of course Jason will agree that since you two are good buddies, he vouched for you, and you were able to take a few lessons from the knights.
Yeah, I think we would be in contact to a point of where we would generally know what each of us are doing throughout the time, and if that's something that Sean wanted to pursue, or Leopold wanted to pursue academically, I think we would have both went into that direction.
Okay. What say you, Sean? Is it good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So, like I said, whatever skill or talent you want to buy, you can buy it. So, think very well, because next opportunity like that, who knows when it will present itself.
Does Yorn know Thieves' Tongue, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, and Yorn knows everything.
Okay, hell yeah.
Basically, the guy is like, he's the stereotypical, hitman / assassin / bandit / robber / underworld guy. So.
Could I have talked him into coming with us?
He declined. He's not interested.
He's not coming? Okay.
He says.
Could I have learned?
We kind of left in the middle of the night, so we.
Yeah.
Probably didn't have
Could I have learned a secret language thief?
Yes.
From him?
Yes.
Okay.
But Talabheim is his city, and he plans to actually use the opportunity that presented itself of a vulnerable, wounded city in which one can easily make a fortune. And of course,
I hope we get some together.
Yeah, of course, he's willing to work with you. He'll be the man on the ground. And he told you how to contact him, just in case. So even if you'll be like in other city, you'll be able to send messages to him via, safe and secure channels, so to speak.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, guys, tell me one more thing. Did you like the more movie-like sequences, like the hiding in a cupboard, or throwing the Skaven over the edge, so to speak? I didn't want to always run it as combat or as opposed tests. I wanted to be more dynamic and fluent, but I'm not sure if you liked it. If you like that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
I liked it.
I like it when it's still tied to a dice roll or
Okay.
a chance.
Okay.
But I like how you kind of, instead of following
It's not almost
the
combat
rolls
stats.
by the book, you take the closest attribute and then you roll against that for success. I liked that.
All right. Very nice. Andy, you're cool with that, or?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I mean, I think you don't want to overdo it, but simultaneously you don't want to overdo the other way either. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I knew that we had 3 hours of gaming, and I wanted to end this today, not to overstretch it. So instead of non-stop combat, I wanted to speed it up a bit. But of course, I won't be doing this on every session, and there will be normal dice rolls involved, naturally.
Good.
Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for the game. Of course, now we need to organize our next meeting. Is 25th of March okay for everyone?
yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Holy cow. Easy there, Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should work for me. I got almost 1,500 experience to spend.
Yeah.
You can always give some to Gennaro.
Well, like I said, if you want to,
I thought you were going to send him away.
yeah, if you,
Yeah. I need to give him XP first, though. So
yeah,
he's
if
at least
you want to advance Gennaro, you need to do it from your own pool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 25th. If
Yeah.
you guys have any questions regarding your character advancements, or anything, any other stuff, then of course write to me. I will write to some of you with my own small things. I'm not going to spoil anything, so for now.
When are you changing over your time?
I think it's. Oh shit! I'm not sure if it's not on 25th. I will check and give you a call. Okay. But
Okay.
today it went very smoothly, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It is on the 25th.
Oh great. Fuck. Okay. Okay. So
No, if it's on the 25th, do you change in the morning, right?
Yeah, so
So-
it'll just be back. I mean, it'll be the same time for you, which will be the old time for us.
yeah.
Yep.
For
Except
Andy, Jason, and me, it would be 1 hour earlier than it was today, and it shouldn't change for anybody else, right?
Well, Sean has to move up an hour.
At
Yeah.
about noon on 25th, I will message each of you, about the time. Okay.
Yeah.
How much time
Give
I
us
have left to start the game.
Yep.
For the game to start. Okay, so that's it. I don't know who was making notes today, and if it was their third time. If it was, then it's another 30 points for you, good sir. If not, then well.
It was my second time.
Okay,
I
so,
won.
so you. What the hell is that sound? If not, then of course it will be one more time, and yeah, and like I've promised, there will be probably a single or maybe two adventures before the 1,000 Thrones.
Okay.
I haven't decided which ones yet, because between each chapter of 1,000 Thrones there will, I mean, not between each chapter, but at least between maybe once or twice I will just add a single adventure be between the chapters.
Okay.
Yeah. But it will be fun. I mean, it will be very, very, very cool. Thanks for the game, guys. Thanks for the game, guys. It was wonderful. I'm really happy that we've managed to finish this campaign. Took us a year almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Very, very, very good. So, I'll see you all on 25th.
Yes.
Great.
Take care.
If you don't hear from me about the vampire stuff, message me in a couple of days.
I will, sure. And I will send you, Jason, the package, like in a day or two, alright?
Okay. Quick question.
Yeah.
Gear wise, we have everything that I guess we went into
Yeah.
the last battle with.
Yeah, of course you have your Thailand swords, those of you that had them.
Yeah, the knight said take everything.
Yeah. So
I'm sure we're over encumbered, maybe. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
we have the wagon
so
plates.
so you basically have everything that you had during the final battle. All right. Plus 20 or 30. I don't remember how much I gave you.
30.
30. All right.
30 gold crowns.
So each of you has 30 gold crowns. You don't need to worry about food or water for the trip because the wagon has everything.
Okay.
So like you don't have to you won't be able to you won't be needing to spend any money in the inns, taverns and so on. Trip to Marienburg will take a few weeks, maybe like 2 weeks, maybe a little, maybe a week and a half. I'm not sure. I will tell you this, of course, next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. See you later, guys. Take care.
All right.
And,
Take care.
See ya.
Yeah. Thank you once
Thanks.
again.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.